Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Alright, if we look at our headlight, you can see that it's been trashed, torn, it's faded out, and it looks like shit. The first thing that we're going to do, this is very simple and very easy, we're going to go get us 2 pieces of sandpaper. You can buy this sandpaper individually, you don't have to buy a whole sleeve of it. What we're going to use 1500 and we're going to use 2000 grit. Now what this sandpaper is, you can see that it's used because I used it on the other headlight. This is called wet dry sandpaper. Go purchase 2 pieces of this, 1 of each, and then what you're going to want to do if you don't have one, you can make one out of a hard sponge if you want it at home, or you can actually go purchase a soft spongy block. And the reason I like to use that because it covers a lot of area instead of using our fingers, which is going to leave grooves and everything. We're going to go ahead and take our 1500 first. We're going to wrap it around our block just like you see. And I also got an old sponge, and right here I have a bucket of water. What we're going to do is we're going to set our sponge up there. We're going to take our 1500 and we're going to start sanding that away. We're going to start sanding all that muckiness away from the headlight as much as possible. When we're sanding, we want to be very careful not to sand the car. If you do accidentally sand the car a little bit, it's not going to hurt it. Nothing is going to happen. If you notice, you can see that there's a milky white substance coming off. That's the grime and the filth and the plastic that we're sanding that is disappearing before our eyes. Once you see where it starts turning milky white, that means that the headlight is pretty much sanded as much as you want to go with 1500. That means that you're actually sanding the plastic now and you've gotten rid of all the residue and all the road grime and all of the substance that's actually making your headlight fade out. The next thing we want to do, we want to go ahead and get our 2000. We're going to repeat our process. We're going to do the same thing in the same manner. We're going to take our sponge, we're going to wet it down, and then we're going to go ahead and sand the headlight. Now I would like to warn you, this does not take out deep scratches. This does not take out gouges. All this is cleaning your headlight off for safety and for visual means necessary to drive your vehicle. And we're just going to repeat our process. Now we're going to keep the sandpaper, the 2000, we're going to sand it just a little bit longer than we did the 1500, because now what the 2000 is doing, it's actually helping us polish the plastic. Once that's done, you want to go ahead and dry your headlight off. Make sure that it's thoroughly dry. And if you watch real close as it dries, you're going to see that it turns to a very blurry and faded out surface. And you're probably telling yourself, well, that didn't do nothing, that just made it worse. No, it didn't. What it did, it took a very, very thin layer of the clear plastic off of the headlight, and now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and use our buffer. We're going to take our high-speed buffer with automotive rubbing compound. If you can't find this, if you don't have an automotive paint supply shop store to go to your local hardware store, tell them you need some rubbing compound. And if you don't have a buffer, you can purchase a kit such as this one for pennies on the dollar. Now what this is a spot detailing starter kit. And if you notice, it comes with a wool pad. It comes with 2 foam pads, which we will not be using on this procedure because we don't need that. We don't need to use our wool foam pads at all. All we're going to do is rely on our wool pad. I'm going to use my big buffer because it's a lot quicker and a lot faster. If you don't have the big buffer, get a kit like this, and this will adapt to any drill that you have. High-speed drill, variable speed possible. So now that our headlight is completely dry, you can see that it's faded out and pretty much looks exactly the same before we sanded it. Let me take my buffer. You're going to see a change within seconds as I buff it out right before your eyes. I'm going to go ahead and take my rubbing compound. I'm just going to put a little dab on it. I'm going to do this in sections instead of doing the whole headlight. That way I'm not going to get wax and everything all over the car. Take my buffer, I'm going to rub it in, I'm going to start spinning. I'm going to overlap my buffer onto the fender and start buffing it out. Watch very closely as it changes from faded out to crystal clear. So as you can see, now our headlight looks brand spanking new. We just saved ourselves hundreds and hundreds of dollars from buying brand new headlights and throwing our good used headlights away. And we also saved Sugar Mama's ass from getting stuck in the dark once again. This is a very easy, simple trick. This is a very easy, quick trick that you can do at home. Once again, if you don't have a buffer, you can go to the automotive parts store and buy a little detail buffer kit, and that would work just fine. I happen to have a big buffer here, so I went over it with a buffer. The headlight is nice and clean. The headlight is ready for another 10 years use and ready to rock and roll. Don't be fooled into cheesy commercials. Don't be fooled into products that all they're out to do is get your fucking money. Use your fucking head and figure it out. It's common sense. There's nothing out there that will clear your headlights except for manual labor. Get a little sweat under your fucking armpits and get a little muscle in your arms, and you too can get this done. That's all I can say. One more tech tip, one more inside secret that you just learned. Take it easy. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, telling you, showing you how to get her done, do it right, and do it right all the time. We'll see you later.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.